It seems to me, first of all, from what I understand from doctors, that's really rare. If it's a legitimate rape, the female body has ways to try to shut that whole thing down.
And when it comes to establishing your worldview, I was curious, what newspapers and magazines did you regularly read before you were tapped for this to stay informed and to understand the world?
I've read most of them, again, with a great appreciation for the press, for the media.
But like what ones specifically? I'm curious that you...
all of them, any of them that have...
Can demonic spirits attach themselves to inanimate objects? The answer is yes.
Welcome to Twat Waffle of the Week.
So I wasn't planning on a second video for this coming week, but shit kind of hit the fan news-wise after I started to script. At that point, I had one extra story. Now I have 10. So again, here are some more twat waffles for the week ending on the 3rd. For the following story, I make this full disclosure. I am diabetic, and I am also on Medicaid. Prior to Pennsylvania enrolling in the expanded Medicaid program through ACA, I was one that fell through the cracks for many years. The following story could have been a major issue without expanded Medicaid. Thankfully, I am still not insulin dependent, so there is that. Without insurance, insulin can cost a shit ton of money. Anywhere from $300 to $1,000 per month. The current bill, which has passed the House, caps cost sharing for a month's supply of insulin starting in 2023 at $35 or 25% of a plan's negotiated price. 12 Republicans, along with the Democrats, voted yes for this bill, while the remainder said, fuck you.
Today is the government fixing the price on insulin. What's next? Gas? Food? History tells us that price fixing doesn't work.
So why the dissension? Case in point, the shit bucket has the gall to bitch, quote, about Joe Biden not fixing the gas price for months in order to save some pennies to spend at Starbucks. But yet, saving hundreds, if not thousands, per month, and avoiding another meal of mac and cheese, she's acting as if the world is ending. And FYI, the shit bucket highlighted is Kathy McMorris Rogers, a Republican out of Washington State. Janet Folger Porter, Christian nationalist, anti-abortion zealot, and anti-vaxxer extraordinaire, who believes, quote, that COVID-19 vaccines, not COVID-19, are the enemy. And Porter is saying that Christians who have been vaccinated for COVID-19 need to pray to God for forgiveness and not get any more booster shots. End quote.
You read in the Bible about, was it Elijah, pastor, that put the flour in the stew to remove the poison?
Elisha.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And so here's the deal. If God can take poison out of a stew, He can take poison out of a body.
Exactly.
And that's what I've been praying. Yes, we got to fight this, but if you've already had this thing, don't get any more boosters. But I just want to say that we have a God who heals, who paid for our healing on the cross. It's paid for. He said, by his stripes we were healed. And so God can heal even from mistakes we make. He can heal from cancer. He can heal from the poison jab, the death jab. That he can heal.
By the way, did I say that she was also running for the U.S. House seat in Ohio? And to be clear, COVID vaccines have not been linked to any deaths, according to a March 2022 study published in The Lancet. Quote,
safety data from more than 298 million doses of mRNA COVID-19 vaccine administered in the first 6 months of the U.S. vaccination program show that most reported adverse events were mild and short in duration.
End quote. And once again, I bring to you Clay Clark. Now, I didn't mention this before, but he's from the Reawaken America tour. This is the same speech that had the Google screen in it, but a different topic. And no, he's not toxic. He's a male body part that will remain nameless.
You don't need the majority to agree with you to be right. So when I started my research, I remember the first client calls me, are you going to meet this week with COVID? Yes, I'm going to meet every week. I am 41 years old. I have not had a sick day in 23 years. I do not call in sick. I don't call in gay. I don't call in gender confused. When my dad died of Lou Gehrig's disease, I had some barbecue and went back to work because that is what a man does. I am an alpha toxic male to the next level. I like it.
No, Lauren. Sexual identity and or sexuality is not a choice. Blackburn has stated what approximately 22% of all Americans are thinking. And by all, I mean both sides of the aisle. The issue, as numerous comments note, quote, critical race theory isn't taught until law school. Teaching kids about racism and slavery is just called history. So I hemmed and hawed as to whether to add an audio clip. I decided against it as Jones's channel is banned by YouTube. Didn't want to run into any issues. Anywho, this really is about the homophobe that goes by the initials MTG. Yes, Marjorie. This woman is just feckless. Quote,
Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene joined radical conspiracy theorist Alex Jones on his InfoWars show this past Wednesday, declaring that the LGBTQ movement is predatory, while simultaneously insisting that she is not homophobic. By the end of the segment, she promised Jones that she would introduce federal legislation like Florida's Don't Say Gay bill to eliminate federal funding for any school that is indoctrinating children.
Further along,
Greene's latest comments highlight how the right has revamped troubling false narratives about gay men being predators and pedophiles and applied them broadly to the LGBTQ movement. Both Jones and Green also returned to another false narrative by exposing people to LGBT issues kids could essentially catch being gay or trans.
End quote. So this episode ended up being way shorter than I thought, as 2 stories didn't pass the smell test, and the others weren't as thought-provoking as originally thought. I apologize for the choppy verbalization, as I seem to be having trouble reading and speaking. But I tried. Peace out, y'all.